Welcome all to AK Bio Lecture Series. In the last class, we have discussed the events in prophase. Now, you know how cohesing and condensing initiates the chromatin condensation. Now, we are going to discuss the events in prometaphase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase, and cytokinesis of the cell cycle. Let's begin with prometaphase. This phase can also be called as late prophase. So, this is the phase that comes between prophase and metaphase stage. So many of the events which initiated in the prophase will end or progress well in this phase. Okay. So first event in this stage is that in this stage the nuclear envelope breaks down completely. The process of nuclear membrane disappearance by the fusion of nuclear membrane and ER started at the early phase of prophase, but the process will complete in late prophase or prometaphase. The second event is that chromosomes continues to contract, and now it is almost condensed nature, not fully condensed, almost condensed. Here it is mentioned as fully, but is almost condensed nature in prometaphase stage. The third event is the centrioles almost reaches the poles of the cell. Here you can see the centrioles. The centrioles almost reaches the poles of the cell. And the fourth event is, in this stage, you can clearly observe the spindle fibers. You can see here the spindle fibers, isn't it? You can see here the spindle fibers, which radiating from centrioles, because a pair of centrioles are now located at both poles of the cell. That's why you can clearly observe the spindle fibers radiating from the centrioles, only because of the fact that the pair of centrioles are now located at the poles. So you can observe clearly the spindle fibers. Okay. And the fifth point, the fifth event of prometaphase is chromosomes are captured by microtubules at the kinetochore. Here you can see the chromosomes are captured by microtubules at the kinetochore. So some of the microtubules are attached with the kinetochore of the chromosome. At this stage, you can see two types of microtubules. They categorize depending upon its fate to attach with the kinetochore of the chromosome. So the exact differentiation of these two kinds of microtubules is possible only at metaphase stage. So here you can see the two types of microtubules, the kinetochore microtubules and polar microtubules. Okay, at this stage you can see two types of microtubules or spindle fibers. They categorize depending upon its fate, microtubules fate or spindle fibers fate to attach with the kinetochore of the chromosome. So the exact differentiation of these two is possible only at metaphase stage. Okay, those spindle fibers that connect with the kinetochore are called kinetochore microtubules, and those run parallel to the opposite poles, are called interpolar microtubules. Here it is mentioned as polar, actually it is interpolar microtubules. The kinetochore microtubules invade nuclear space. Actually, the kinetochore microtubules. The microtubules, those attach with the kinetochore of chromosome, that is called the kinetochore microtubules, and the kinetochore microtubules invade the nuclear space. Actually, this is the nuclear space. This is the nuclear space, but the nuclear membrane has disappeared, isn't it? So the kinetochore microtubules will invade into the nuclear space and attach to the kinetochore of the chromosome, and the polar microtubules push against each other, moving centrosomes apart. So polar microtubules helps to maintain the position of centrosome by pushing against each other. Okay, that is the pro-metaphase stage. That's all about pro-metaphase stage. Then metaphase. Metaphase is the longest phase of M phase, which lasts about 20 minutes. The characteristic features of this phase are, in this phase, centrosomes are at the opposite poles, exactly at the opposite poles. The centrosomes located at the opposite poles of the cells. That is the first major characteristic feature of this phase, that is metaphase. Actually, metaphase is the longest phase of M phase, and this lasts about 20 minutes. And metaphase is defined as the point at which all of the chromosomes pairs, that is, in the case of human, 46 chromosomes actually. So all of the chromosome pairs are fully condensed. So metaphase is defined as the points at which all of the chromosome pairs are fully condensed and attached to mitotic spindle. Here you can see the blue line is attached with the kinetochore of the chromosome. So metaphase is defined as the point at which all of the chromosome pairs are fully condensed, attached to the mitotic spindle, and one more condition is that, and aligned at the center region of the cell, is termed as metaphase plate. So chromosome condenses and become distinguishable as they align in the center, that is metaphase plate of the dividing cell. So chromosomes condense and become distinguishable as they align in the center, that is metaphase plate of the dividing cell. The chromosomes are at their second most condensed and coiled stage. Actually, at this stage of metaphase, the chromosomes are at the second most condensed stage and coiled stage. Actually, the most condensed stage is in anaphase. Okay. Then in metaphase stage, at this stage, you can differentiate the microtubules or spindle fibers into three types, depending upon its fate to attach with the kinetochore of the chromosome. We already discussed what is kinetochore and interpolar microtubules in the last slide. Here one more type is clearly visible called aster microtubules. Aster type was not distinguishable in pro-metaphase. Aster microtubules was not distinguishable in pro-metaphase. That's why we discussed two types in pro-metaphase and the third type, that is astral, in metaphase stage. So in total, three types are present. Okay. Then which are the functions of each type of microtubules? The first one is kinetochore microtubules. Kinetochore microtubules functioning in the movement of chromosomes. The function of kinetochore microtubule is functioning in the movement of chromosomes. And interpolar microtubules fix the centrioles at opposite poles. Fix the centrioles at opposite poles of the cell and also create a boundary for the alignment of chromosomes exactly at the metaphase plate. So, interpolar microtubules have two functions, which are they create a boundary for the alignment of chromosomes exactly at the metaphase plate, and they keep the centrioles at the poles. So, the third type is aster microtubules, not astral, it is aster microtubules. And it signals. What is the function of aster microtubules? The signals for the localization of centrosome. Signals for the localization of centrosome means alignment of centrosome is the function of astral type. So both aster and interpolar microtubules functioning in the positioning of the centrosome. So in various stages of cell cycle, metaphase stage has special attention in medical research. Why? During this stage, the chromosomes become visible under the microscope. Cells in metaphase are used in medical research to measure whether all the chromosomes are present and whether or not they are all intact. So for the studies related with numerical and structural aberrations of the chromosomes, scientists arrest the cell cycle at a metaphase stage when they culture the cell line in laboratory conditions. Then they prepare the karyotype of the individual and study about the major and minor patterns of chromosome. That's the significance of metaphase stage with respect to the clinical experiments. Okay. Then anaphase. This is the shortest phase of anaphase, which lasting only few minutes. In anaphase, the unattached microtubules push against each other to elongate the cell. The second characteristic feature is chromatids separate towards opposite poles. These are the two major events. And in the anaphase, the chromosomes have separated and are moving towards the poles. Here you can see the sister chromatids are separated and they are moving towards poles. That is the feature of anaphase. Each chromatid then thus become fully fledged chromosomes. Okay, after anaphase, each chromatid thus become fully fledged chromosomes. Then how do sister chromatids separate each other in anaphase? We saw that in anaphase, the sister chromatids move apart, individual chromatids separated and form V-shaped structure. Here you can see the V-shaped structure, isn't it? The chromatids is in V-shaped structure. How the sister chromatids will separate in anaphase is already discussed as part of last class when we discussed about condensing and cohesing actions. And if you forgot things, you must go to the last class video and clear the same topic. Okay. Cohesin is a protein that maintains cohesion between the sister chromatids. Consider this as the first sister chromatid and this is the second copy. So, cohesin is a protein that maintains cohesion between the sister chromatids. During prophase, all the cohesin proteins from the sister chromatids removed by the phosphorylation activity of some kinase, polo-like kinases or Rabi kinases. We already discussed all about all the mechanism. Okay, activity of the some kinases. So during prophase, all the cohesive proteins removed by the phosphorylation activity of some kinases, except from the centromere portion and places of chromatids. Uh, in this picture, uh, even in the metaphase stage, you can see the cohesive attachments, but actually it is not the case. It will not be present throughout the chromosome, and majority of cohesin will be removed in prophase itself. So when the cell is entered into late metaphase or in anaphase, the cohesin protein, this is the cohesin protein at the centromere portion, will also be removed by a complex of proteins called, I think you know the name, APCs. APC means phase promoting complex. It's a complex of proteins. APC triggers the separation of sister chromatids by tagging cohesin for destruction. APC is a complex of proteins with cofactors such as CDC20. APC is inactive in free form. This APC is inactive in free form. When bounded with CDC20, the APC protein will get activated. The activated APC will tag the ubiquitination signal on securin protein. Then what is the function of securin protein? Securin is a protein that inactivates the separase protein by dimerizing together. So securin is this is the securin. Securin is the protein that inactivates the separase protein by dimerizing together. So securin keep separase in inactive condition, isn't it? So securin keep separase in inactive condition by dimerizing with the separase. Okay. But when APC tag, here you can see the APC, active form of APC, that is with bounded with CDC20. But when APC tag the ubiquitination signal on the securin protein, the affinity of securin to separase will lost. So securin will be separated from separase. Securin will be separated from separase. So free form of separase is active in condition, and activated separase can now cleave the cohesin protein from the centromere of the chromosome, and as a result the sister chromatids will separate out. The separated sister chromatids will remain in connection with the spindle fibers. The separated sister chromatids, this is the separated sister chromatids. The separated sister chromatids will remain in connection with spindle fibers. So now the sister chromatids is separated by the action of APC and separase. Then how do sister chromatids move away each other towards the poles? That is the second question. Okay. Before discussing the process, you must know what is the plus end and minus end of the microtubules. Here, the type of microtubule is spindle fibers. So you must know what is the plus end and minus end of a microtubule. In cell biology, you learned the three types of cytoskeletons and the structure of each cytoskeletons. You also learned the process of polymerization and depolymerization of monomers of each types in first semester. Here you need an overall idea of what is microtubules, what is monomer, how monomers is getting added, what is positive and negative end of microtubules, what is the polymerization and what is depolymerization, etc. All these things were studied in cytogenetics paper of in first semester. Anyway, I will do some of those points for easy understanding of the current topic. But for detailed understanding, you must revise the cytoskeleton portion. Okay. First, what is positive and negative ends? Plus end, positive or not positive, actually it is plus and minus end. Not the term positive is wrong term, actually plus and minus end. Plus end is the end of microtubules. You can see here the minus end and plus end. This is the microtubule. This is chromosome. In anaphase, the chromosomes, the sister chromatids get separated. The mechanism of separation is we have discussed in the last slide, and here we are discussing about the plus and the minus end of microtubules. Okay, the plus end is the end of microtubules where okay plus end is the end of microtubules where the kinetochore of the chromosome attached with. Okay, and minus end, here you can see the centrioles. So consider this as a cell, and this is the one pole, this is another pole, and here you can see the centrioles. From here you can see the spindle fibers, these aster like spindle fibers, polar, interpolar spindle fibers, and kinetochore spindle fibers. We are discussing about the kinetochore microtubules assembly and disassembly actually. So first of all, as part of this, we are discussing about the plus end and minus end. Okay, so minus end is the opposite end of plus end. Minus end is the opposite end of the plus end, where the spindle fibers attach with centrosome. Here you can see the centrosome or centrioles. Okay. So how kinetochore is attached with the microtubules, that is, or spindle fibers? To explain this, look at this picture. Okay, in this picture on the right side of this slide, you can see the detailed view of the inner kinetochore mitotic spindle interface. Okay, hope you know the three subcompartments of the kinetochore. If you don't know, then view the last uploaded video in YouTube again. One of the subcompartment is inner kinetochore mitotic spindle interface. So in this picture, in this picture, you can see the detailed view of the inner kinetochore mitotic spindle interface. Okay. Anyway, in the picture B and C, is picture A, and in the picture B and C, you can see the detailed view of inner kinetochore mitotic spindle interface. The portion is enlarged and represented. The portion, actually this portion is enlarged here, and this portion is enlarged here. Okay, so this portion is enlarged and represented in detail in figure B and C. Here you can see the attachment of some this is the kinetochore region, and this is the microtubule, and these are the proteins which are attached with the kinetochore, not with the microtubule. these proteins are part of this green colored protein and this seed like protein. These all are part of kinetochore actually. This part is explained in detail, represented in detail in figure C. Hope you got the concept. Okay. Here you can see the attachment of some inner kinetochore proteins such as DC80 complex and CDT1, etc. with the microtubules. Here you can see the microtubules, and the NC80 and CDT1 are the proteins which are associated with inner kinetochore region of the kinetochore. Okay, so actually kinetochore is a complex of protein, and actually the two proteins we represented here is part of inner kinetochore, and these two proteins attaching with the microtubules. Okay, note one point, way of arrangement, that is way of arrangement or connection between microtubules and kinetochore. It is interesting, very interesting. The kinetochore protein, actually the kinetochore protein, when you look at this picture, okay, the kinetochore protein is not at all attached with the very last monomers or extreme end of microtubule at the plus end of the microtubules. Actually, the kinetochore protein is not at all attached with the very last monomers or extreme ends of the microtubules at the plus end of the microtubule. Attachment site is actually, you can see here, the attachment site is here only. So the attachment site is little bit towards the negative end. Actually, this is the positive end and this is the negative end. Here you can see the centrosome. From this centrosome, the microtubule is radiating out. We are representing only here we representing only one microtubule out of several microtubules, and this is the positive end, this is the minus end, and you can actually the location of attachment of kinetochore, inner kinetochore and microtubule is little bit towards the negative minus end, just after the length of few tubulin monomers. Okay, you can see some portions of the plus end is overhanged. Actually, you can see here a portion, some portions of the plus end is overhanged without any connections to the kinetochore, isn't it? Okay. The cellular microtubule dynamics must be tightly regulated throughout the cell cycle. In the diagram, the red colored short arrow, this one, red colored short arrow denotes the poleward flux. Poleward flux. Poleward flux. The direction of arrow, red colored short arrow denotes the poleward flux. The direction of arrow indicates the direction of flux, in which direction the flux is happening. The large red arrow indicates the chromosome movement. Actually, it indicates the movement of chromosomes, and the direction of arrow indicates the direction of movement of chromosome, in which direction the chromosome is moving. Actually, this is moving towards the poles. This is the pole 1, this is the one pole, this is another pole. Okay, so and the black, here you can see the black ball shaped representation. Okay, the black ball indicates the kinetochore of the chromatin. Here you can see two kinetochore, because here the sister chromatids are attached together. But here these stereochromatids are separated out, so you can see two kinetochore here which are separated. Here we introduced a new term, that is Pollard flux. So what is Pollard microtubule flux? From the name itself, you may get idea. The term Pollard means towards the pole, towards the pole. Towards the poles. What is moving towards the pole? The microtubules, isn't it? So, poleward microtubule flux. The term poleward means towards the pole, and what is moving towards the pole? That is microtubules. Flux means flow, simple, flow. So it is the fast movement of microtubules towards the pole from its far end. In similar terms, the shortening of the microtubule by the depolymerization of the minus end. Actually, this is the minus end. This is the minus end. So, what is mean by poleward microtubule flux? In similar terms, this can be said that the shortening of the microtubules by the depolymerization of the minus end. Okay, actually, poleward microtubule flux is an evolutionarily conserved process, highly conserved process during mitosis and meiosis in all metazoan cells. In all metazoan cells, and is defined as the translocation of spindle microtubules towards the spindle poles, coupled to the depolymerization of the minus end. Coupled to the depolymerization of the minus end. Okay. Then let's look at the rate of polymerization and depolymerization of spindle fibers in metaphase and anaphase. Okay, during metaphase, here this is the metaphase stage, this is anaphase stage. This is metaphase stage. Here the chromosome is aligned at the central portion of the cell. This is the pole, this is another pole, this is the centrosome, this is the centrosome, this is the central portion of the cell, isn't it? So this is the metaphase plate. Here this is the metaphase plate. Here during metaphase, look at this diagram only. During metaphase, microtubules associated with kinetochores undergo two events. One is depolymerization of monomers, that is tubulin at their minus end, and second is polymerization of monomers at the plus end. So during metaphase, microtubules associated with the kinetochore, that means kinetochore microtubules. There are three types of microtubules, isn't it? In this, kinetochore microtubules undergo two events. Which are they? One is depolymerization at the minus end. Next is polymerization of monomers at the plus end. The important thing to know is that in M phase, the rate of polymerization and depolymerization is roughly similar. As a result, the net length of microtubules, the polymerization addition rate, and here minus end, isn't it? So here the dissociation rate is roughly same, okay, in metaphase stage. So what will happen? As a result, the net length of microtubule remains constant in metaphase. So the length will remain constant. That's why the chromosomes aligned properly. That's why the chromosome is aligned properly at metaphase plate in metaphase. Okay. The separation of sister chromatids during anaphase is one of the most striking, beautiful example of cellular movements. Actually, this is the anaphase stage. The separation of sister chromatids is a very beautiful event. This is related with the cellular movement. It consists of two distinct processes. Here you can see two separate processes. Which are they? Anaphase A and anaphase B. Anaphase A, two processes. Anaphase A, the movement of chromosomes towards the spindle pole via shortening the connecting fibers is the peculiar feature of anaphase A. I'm repeating the point. The movement of, actually the separated, here the sister chromatids are separated and the sister chromatids will move to the poles, isn't it? So that process is happening via the shortening of the connecting fibers, that is spindle fibers. So the spindle fibers shortening results in the movement of chromatids, sister chromatids towards the poles. That is anaphase A. Anaphase A. Then anaphase B, the separation of two poles. Actually, when the anaphase starts, the length of the cell, size of the cell and length of the cell is like this. Isn't it? Then the length will increase, elongate, means the cell will elongate. When the anaphase progresses, the cell will elongate. That is the anaphase B. So separation of the two poles from one another, the distance is increased, isn't it? So separation of the two poles from one another via spindle elongation. Actually, what is the reason behind the elongation process or elongation of the cell? Actually, it is due to the spindle elongation, means the cells also become elongate and the distance between the poles increases over time progresses. Okay. Onset of anaphase, the plus end, what will happen to the rate of polymerization and depolymerization? In the case of metaphase, we said the rate of polymerization and depolymerization will remain same. That's why the chromosomes is aligned at the metaphase plate. As this cell enters into the anaphase, what will happen in the rate of polymerization and depolymerization? Actually, the term is trade milling. The process of assembly and disassembly of monomers into the microtubules is called trade milling. So, at the onset of anaphase, plus end depolymerizes, resulting in the shortening of the microtubules. Here you see just into this picture. Focus on this picture only. So, at the onset of anaphase, plus end. Where is the plus end? Here is the plus end. This is the minus end. And on the onset of anaphase, plus end depolymerizes. So, the rate of depolymerization increases while the rate of addition is reduced. due to this process, at the same time resulting the movement of chromatids towards the pole. Even during the depolymerization of plus end, that is, the separated sister chromatids keep on attachment. This sister chromatids keep on attachment with the microtubules till it reaches the poles. Even during the dissociation of microtubules or the tubulin monomers from the plus end, the chromatids will not fall off from the microtubule, because how it is maintained is because of the beauty of the engineering of kinetochore microtubule assembly. What is the beauty? We already discussed that the attachment of the kinetochore protein, look at this area, the attachment of the kinetochore protein is not with very last monomers. The attachment of the kinetochore protein, this is the kinetochore, this is the microtubule, these are the kinetochore proteins, specialized kinetochore proteins. This is like one, the green like one. Okay, the attachment of the kinetochore protein is not with the very last monomers of the microtubules of plus end. This is the plus end and this is the minus end. The attachment site is after the length of a few monomers towards the minus end. That is the brilliant engineering done by evolution of life. Okay, next, the telophase. Mitosis, the division of nucleus to is completing with the telophase, and in telophase the new nuclear envelope forms, the chromosomes unfold back into chromatin, the nucleoli reappear, and the cell continues to elongate. And this is the mitosis, is the division of nucleus into two, is now complete. The major events are nuclear envelope forms, chromosomes unfold back into chromatin, and nucleoli reappear, cell continues to elongate. Next is the division of cytoplasm, that is cytokinesis. This is the division of cytoplasm. Cytokinesis is the division of cytoplasm. It occurs in animal cells by the appearance of a furrow in the middle of the cell. The furrow deepens and divides the cell into two. The two daughter cells are formed. Here you can see the division of the cell into two daughter cells. Okay. Here you can see the nuclear division is completed, and the completed nuclear envelope, new nuclear envelope is forming. Completed nuclear envelope surrounds this decondensing chromosomes, and here you can see the contractile ring creating cleavage furrow. Actually, the contractile ring is made up of actin and myosin. It's made up of actin and myosin. So here you can see these are the actin and myosin. These are the actin and myosin. Next is final phase, that is G0 phase. The cell enters into this phase in specific conditions only. Means the cell will not enter this phase always. The conditions are: if a cell is too small, the cell is starved, the environment does not provide the nutrients, energy needed for preparation of cell division is required, and these are the conditions when the cell enters into the G0 phase. Cell will halt and enter a phase called G0, and the cells are said to be quiescent. During G0 phase, cells continues to perform their function vital for life, albeit at the lower rate, but the function is at the lower rate. That is quiescent phase. Cells in G0 accounts for a variability in the time between division in different tissue types. Cells that line the intestine divide every 20 minutes. So G0 phase is not required for that cell type. Is not required. In the case of neurons and skeletal muscles, rarely divide. So they will remain G0 for a long period of time. We have discussed different stages and general events in each phases of cell cycle in last three classes. Hope everyone can understand the topics well. Next, we will discuss the checkpoints in cell cycle and role of different cell cycle regulatory proteins in coming classes. Thank you.